All right, so what we're doing here is we're going to do some curls. Now we do a couple different variations of these curls here. It's going to be a mix between just regular reps, and then we do some isometrics in here. We also switch up his grips. So what we're doing right now is we're trying to get his body used to being in the supinated position. That's where your hand is like this. Think about it like you're holding a bowl of soup. So supination is when your hand's like this. Now, unfortunately, after a stroke, a lot of people have a hard time actually supinating their arm around here, and that's actually this muscle right here is in charge of supination. So what we're doing is we've been doing a lot of stretching, different stretches and things like that, trying to strengthen this muscle. So right now we've got it loosened up. So now what I like to do is we like to actually force it into supination here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my hand on his wrist, not on his hand, because that's going to tweak on the actual wrist joint. We don't want that. So I'm just going to put my hand on his arm here. And what I'm doing is I'm just holding it in supination as he runs through the range of motion. And then what I also like to do is I like to just kind of rest my arm on the side of his arm here to try to lock that elbow and that shoulder in place so it's not winging and moving around, to try to keep that form as tight as possible. And then what we do is we do about 10 reps. And then after that 10 reps, what he's going to do is he's going to try to hold my arm, and I'm going to try to pull his arm down. And he's going to try to hold it and fight it the whole way down. And then what I like to do is I like to come up in different angles of the curl, and then I'm going to hold him there. And he's going to try to force my arm and force that curl for 10 seconds. And I do that in 3 different ranges. So I'll do it here at the top for 10 seconds, and he'll try to force that curl while I'm pushing down. And then we do that for 10 seconds, and then he'll come up to about here. And then I'll do one like right off the mat here. So what that's going to do is it's going to strengthen that arm in all different ranges. So that's essentially what we're trying to do here, is get his motion in that supinated position and try to strengthen that bicep. As you strengthen the bicep, what it's going to do is it's going to help with that locking of the elbow. Right now he's having a lot of troubles trying to straighten his arm out, so strengthening the bicep will actually loosen the elbow and the bicep. It kind of sounds counterproductive, but that is what you're supposed to do. So that's what we're working on right now.
So is he gonna get bigger muscles than you then?
He may.
Okay.
Our goal is to have better arms than Arnold. We're getting there.
Okay. This is exciting.
All right, so here we go. So now I'm allowing him to move through this range of motion, but I'm putting pressure on it the entire time. And on this, he's just relaxing. And he's breathing, and I'm putting just enough pressure to get that arm to come down. We're going to do this for 10 reps, and I'm just giving him some resistance with my hand here, just enough, and see how I'm keeping my arm next to his so his elbow doesn't like to wing out. We're just holding that form, and I'm just putting some pressure on his wrist here to continually keep it in that supinated position.
You talked about the breathing. Why is that important?
So now we've found that with a deep breaths, big breath in, breathing out through the nose, what it's going to do is it actually loosens and relaxes his muscle, so it's easier to release here. So it's all about breathing. The good thing about this is you get to control the resistance that you're giving. And as he progresses with his strength, you can just keep adding a little bit more and a little bit more resistance. Or if he's maybe a little bit weaker that day, you can give a little less resistance. All right, we're going to come up and hold. All right, so now he's trying to hold me back the whole time, and I'm pushing down. He's getting strong. I get a workout in this too. Good. And release. Good. So we do that, then we take a little bit here. Let's massage the bicep a little bit. We'll just take a little second break here. All right. And then we get into the different positions here. So I allow him to come up to where I want it to stop, and then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to allow him to move. And he's going to fight me. For 10 seconds. 6, 7, curl, come on, 8, 9, and 10. And what this is allowing him to do is it actually recruits more and more muscle fibers. As he struggles, the longer he struggles, the more your body's going to recruit those muscle fibers. And it also helps that mind-muscle connection to help burn those pathways back into your brain.
Do you like to see your clients struggle?
Yes.
Does that make
100%.
you happy?
100%. All right, coming up. 6, 7 pump, 8, 9, 10. One of my favorite quotes. It doesn't challenge you, it won't change you.
It's a good quote. I like it.
All right, now last one. Now this one, like I said, we changed the angles. This one's going to be right off the bottom. Push. Come on. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax. So I like to do it in supination. And then what I like to do is I like to switch the angle. This is going to work a different portion of his bicep here. And I like to switch it into a neutral grip. So right here, this is going to be your neutral grip. So this is supination, and this is a neutral grip. So I like to switch it into a neutral grip, and then we just do the same thing. So this is another exercise that we like to do. This is actually very easy to make, this tool. All it is some PVC piping. He has a couple different sizes. What you want to do is you just want to buy a piece, a nice long piece, to put 2 little rubber ends on it. And then what you do is you just buy 1 or 2 size bigger on the PVC, and you just slip a piece over that so it glides. And what this is doing is it's working the shoulder through the range of motion. As you can see, the longer strokes that he has, it's working all the different muscles in his shoulder, and it's helping to loosen that up. So we do this at a couple different angles. Sometimes it helps to put a little oil on the PVC. It does get tight sometimes. Squeeze. Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Release.
So is Adam weird? It's okay to be honest.
See where his hands are?
It's completely normal.
Sexual harassment.
It's completely normal. Don't act like you don't like it.
Does Adam smile at you weird sometimes? Does he seem to get too much pleasure out of your pain?
Always when he's touching me. And then I'd have to change diapers.
Turn that arm. There we go. Got it? Got it? Good. Have it? Grab it. Squeeze.
Have you been seeing some improvement on this?
Big improvement. So the biggest improvement that we've seen on this, which I will be posting a video of when we first started this, a couple weeks into it, and then a couple more weeks. Biggest thing we've seen, first video that we had, he was wearing a Sabo glove that was helping to extend his fingers. So he had to grab it and not really focus so much on releasing. So we went from that to then we progressed to not using the glove, but then again, the shoulder and scapula movement wasn't there, so it was kind of just dragging the arm up, able to grab it, release it very well. So now the biggest difference that you're going to notice and see in the video is he's able to actually turn his arm level, grab, and then drop. And he's able to actually move his shoulder. So I mean, he can actually, if you watch, Brendan, if you would, pick up your arm and then actually rotate that, and then he's able to move. See, now he's able to move that whole range of motion here, and he's not using his body. That's huge. That wasn't there before. So right now we're just really focusing on just reaching over, grabbing, and using his back muscles and his shoulder to actually move and drop things. So he's not using his body to turn, he's actually using his shoulder to move and drop.
What exercises did you do in order for him to get to this point?
So we've been doing a lot of this, but Brendan on his own, we've kind of come up with a workout program that he's able to do by himself. We have these right here in the background, some TRX bands. Now, we were doing a lot of work with the bar and the wrapping of the hands with some rows and things, which you've seen in previous videos. Then he advanced and got a set of TRX bands, and when I'm not here, Brendan actually runs himself through an entire workout, and then I also train him almost every day. So again, repetition is key. So he does these right here, and what this is going to do, these TRX bands and a couple other exercises that we do, it's strengthening that scapula in the back, and it's helping with the movement of the shoulder. And when the scapula is able to move around, everything else moves properly and more fluid.
Right now, how often is he doing these particular exercises?
Pretty much almost every day. That's going to be, and he doesn't, I mean, he definitely does work out hard, but it's not something where it's like heavy weights where it's killing and breaking down your muscles. It's more of just like repetition. So it's just getting his body used to these movements. And I mean, as you can see in the videos, I mean, we're going to continue to post videos. You're going to see the progress, so you can see that this is working. It's all about just repetition and just continue to do it each and every day, and it will get better. So you just got to keep at it.
Anything to say, sir?
No.
Okay.
Minus that stair climber right there. It kicks my butt every day.
So that is another purchase that he made, the stair climber. So we bought that to not knowing quite if he'd be able to use it or not. Come to find out, he is able to use it, and it kicks his butt pretty much every single day.
How's that helping?
What that's doing is it's allowing him to use his feet and his arms in different areas. So what it's doing is, I guess, how should I say, it's not connected, so he's actually having to use his arms and his legs in unison with each other, but they're not connected, so his legs aren't helping his arms, so he's actually having to use his mind to move his arms and his feet differently at different times. So it's doing that, and it's also helping with his shoulder. So it's stretching his shoulder out, and it's moving it through that full range of motion. And it's also helping his stride, keeping his gait closed. It's moving that leg through that nice straight range of motion. So it's also helping with that. So that is a great piece of equipment. So we have that, and we've been also talking about adding a bike as well, because again, that's going to be moving his leg in that nice linear motion. So keeping that gait closed and getting his muscles used to doing that. And also, if we also get one of those CrossFit bikes, he's able to use his shoulders and his arms to push and pull back. So
You talked about consistency, and one thing that Brendan talked about earlier is maybe sometimes not seeing progress right away. What do you want to say to people that maybe aren't seeing the results that they want, like within the first day or week?
Honestly, Brendan did mention it earlier. It's taking videos. Like if you see yourself and you're progressing, I mean, it takes time, and it's little things you don't even notice so much. So it's taking these videos, you can start to see the little differences that are made, week after week, and it just helps motivate you that way. If you don't take the videos, you don't really notice all these little things, and the little things add up, and that's the biggest thing, is just continuing to do it, and it's all these little things, and pretty soon, your arm is able to move better, your hand is able to open and close, or you notice something in the video, it's like, wow, I looked at the old video and I look at this one, my arm is moving so much better now. Things that you wouldn't notice normally. So my advice to you would be, take videos. It'll help motivate you. You can actually see the differences that it's making, and consistency is key. If you do not put in the work, you're not going to get better. There's just no way around it. It's just hard work. It really is.
Thank you. Thank you, Brendan. You are awesome.
You're welcome. Okay.
All right, hello everybody. So here is Brendan. He's awesome. So Brendan, what were you just explaining?
Well, it was something I saw on YouTube a while ago where they put pressure on the fingertips, and I did it probably about a year ago, and I wasn't really feeling anything, but lately we've been doing it, and it seems to be that I can feel it through my whole hand, and it causes my fingers to go straight.
Okay.
And so I'm just guessing here. I'm not a neuroscientist by any means, but I'm thinking that it sends a signal to the brain, which is good, gets us helping create the new pathways and stuff that were damaged from my surgery.
So it might seem a little unorthodox here,
And it hurts pretty good, so.
and it does hurt. If it doesn't hurt, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is you're going to grab each finger separately here. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my fingernail and I'm actually pushing on the tip of his finger. And I usually push and push pretty good. It's got to hurt. You push it and I hold it there for about 10 seconds and he's going to be in pain. But you'll see in a second here. So now I release that finger, and that finger, look at how straight that finger is there. And we just go through and we do every finger separately like that. And you can see when I release them, they're straight as an arrow. Now the biggest thing that we try to do here with our training is Brendan is always looking up different exercises and different things he finds, and so am I. And we're willing to try anything. I mean, you're not out anything by trying, and you never know what's going to work until you try it. So we are up for, well, as you can see, trying anything that's going to help. It's worth a try. So we started trying this a couple days ago, and well, when we're done here, his fingers are straight as arrows, so it's doing something. I mean, as you can see, look at how straight his fingers are. And you can also see when we do this, sometimes his other fingers will actually start to twitch. Like Brendan was saying, we think, I mean, just thinking about this logically, the pain, I mean, if you're feeling pain, it's sending signals from your hand or your fingers up to your brain. Now, if you're continuously sending those pain signals to that brain every single day, it's got to help with the feeling in your hand. If you're continuously sending those signals, you would think that at some point it's going to strengthen that signaling from your hand and fingertips to your brain. That's kind of how we look at it. I'm not the doctor, neither is Brendan, we don't know, but all I can say is when we do it, he goes from bent fingers to absolutely straight. So it's doing something, so we're just going to try it and continue to try it and see what happens. I mean, like I said, there's no set, workout regimen for this. There's no set, this is what you got to do. These are the only exercises you can do. Continuously search, look, there's people that are trying new exercises to get better. So we try to do as many different things as possible. We find out the things that work. We try them for a couple weeks. If it doesn't seem like it's doing anything, we switch to something else. But we're continuously changing things up.
Would you say some exercises that might work better for one person may not work the same for someone else?
Absolutely. It all depends on, your progress, where you're at in your therapy. Brendan was already able to walk around and move his arm and things like that when I started with him. There's some people that maybe aren't that far along yet. So then again, you do have to do different exercises, and there's exercises for those people that are even, not able to get out of bed quite yet. There's exercises that you can do in every stage, no matter how little. I mean, you might think like it's just a little movement, you're not able to move much, but if you continuously do that, it'll get better and better and better. Again, consistency is key. It's just doing those little things every single day, and you'll get better.
Thank you.
So now we've also noticed, now Brendan was doing some of these exercises and some of these therapy things before he met me, so earlier on, and they weren't exactly working for him. He wasn't getting the results that he was looking for, and he wasn't getting the feedback. So as we progressed and tried different things, now we're actually starting to introduce some of these things back into his workouts, and he's seeing a lot better results now than he was before. So don't just discard something completely because it didn't work in the beginning. Don't be afraid to try to pull some of those exercises that maybe didn't work in the beginning and try them out again later on as you progress a little bit, because you might be surprised they might actually start working a little bit better now. So it's just, again, continuously trying new things. Don't be afraid to bring some of those old things back that maybe you didn't think worked before. Brendan has noticed that some of those things have started to work a lot better now. So we started introducing some of those things back into his workouts.
We're kind of down and stuff.
There you go. Push, push, push. Nice and easy. Good. Push. Good. Push. Straighten that arm out. Good. Nice and easy on the way down. Good. One up, push. Good, we're going to do one more and then we're going to do that hold, okay? Coming up. Okay, go about halfway down and then hold yourself, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, hold. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Awesome. So now this is a huge achievement here. As you can see, I mean, it is a little bit of a modified push-up, but he's able to do about 10 reps by himself there, and as you can see, the control on the way down, he's able to come down very controlled. And on the last one, you could see that I had him go about halfway down, so he doesn't have his elbow locked. So that's putting all of that pressure through his shoulder, his chest, his pecs, all that, and he actually was able to hold him, support himself for 10 seconds before easing himself back. That's going to be huge. It's not only for strengthening the muscles, helping with the range of motion of his shoulder and his arms, but the biggest thing this is going to help is, if you think about it, if you fall on the floor or anything like that, this is going to help him be able to get up. So he's strengthening those muscles, so if he ever does fall, he's able to pick himself back up, which is a huge fear for people, that if they fall, what happens if I can't get back up and nobody's there to help me? So this is going to help strengthen those muscles so you can have a little bit more confidence where if something ever does happen, which we hope it doesn't, but if it does, he's able to actually get himself up. Ready? All right, so now this is another way that we utilize these TRX bands. He's able to do so many things with this. These are very versatile. So this right here, we started off just doing 2-armed rows. So now we've actually advanced to the point where he's actually going to be, as you're going to watch here, he's going to be taking his unaffected arm, and he's going to actually be grabbing his left, his affected arm, so he's putting all of that weight and stress on his left arm. So he's actually putting all of this pressure through his affected arm, and he's actually having to roll up with his affected arm. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and I'm just holding on to his hand to make sure that it stays on here as he does his reps. Ready when you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On the last one, hold. Coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relax. Good. So as you could see in the video before, he did his 10 reps with his 10-second isolation hold. So what we're going to do now is we've shortened this TRX band to help straighten his arm out a little bit more, and it's going to add to that range of motion, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. So we're always advancing, so as we do, we have to make it a little bit more difficult for him. So that's what we've done right here. So we're going to try this out. We haven't tried this yet, so we're going to see. All right, Brendan, ready when you are. 1, get it up there, a little higher. 2, 3, and that, one up. 4, roll back, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, and hold, 1, 2, get that arm back there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ease it down. Good, very good. So there you have it. There's a variation you can use the TRX bands for as you advance a little bit further on and help strengthen that back and that scapula. Well guys, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it ends up reaching somebody that's in need of it. Hope to see you on our blog, asking some questions, interacting with us. Again, we're going to be posting videos like this, so definitely follow Brendan's journey on his way back to recovery. I'm sure he would very much appreciate it, and he, again, would very much appreciate it if you would also share, because he's the one who also came up with this idea for the blog to help people that are in the same situation he is, to spread awareness that you don't have to give up. There's always something you can do. Just keep striving, keep pushing, and you will get better. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.